Imagine this scenario in your head. You are yourself. You are physically capable to do anything you want. You could to choose the food you eat, and yes, it might be expensive, but you could travel all across the world if you really wanted to. But imagine one day you're locked in your room and you're unable to get out. You can only eat the food given to you, and you can never go out. You can only. How would you describe that? Jail, prison, hell? A zoo, as per Oxford Dictionary, says it is an establishment which maintains a collection of wild animals, typically in a park or garden, or study, conversation, or display to the public. When's the last time you visited a zoo and got a sense on how to further support these animals and the environment they're living in? This is where I think people have misconceptions about zoos. Zoos don't educate the public about these animals nor their habitats. Zoos are an attraction, a business, and essentially a prison for the animals residing in them. It's estimated to be around 6 million animals living in captivity. Of the 6 million, only 10% of those animals are considered endangered. There are estimated to be 10,000 zoos and aquariums worldwide, and 75% of them are speculated to be involved in some type of animal abuse. An elephant by nature is very nomadic and known to travel. The average wild elephant travels 35 to 50 miles a day. Elephant enclosures at the zoos are mandatory to be a minimum of 400 feet. These animals were free, but due to animals, they are now captivated in non-adequate space. It's outright impossible to provide enough space for these large animals, but zoos continue to breed them. These newborn elephants will likely grow up in captivity and will never thrive in the wild. This tells you a lot about the zoo industry. Another example is Tilikum. Tilikum was the largest orca in captivity, measuring at 22.5 feet and 12,500 pounds. Tilikum was captured when she was only 2 years old near Iceland in 1985. Tilikum was then transported to SeaWorld Orlando. At SeaWorld, Tilikum from a young age trained for the orca show, where she would perform tricks with beach balls and even be trained to balance trainers on their noses and swim. On February 24, 2010, Tilikum killed and attacked a 40-year-old SeaWorld trainer, Don Bronchu. Don Bronchu was killed after a routine orca show. Don was rubbing Tilikum as a part of a post-show routine when the orca grabbed her body, dragged her into the water, and attacked her. The death resulted in public outrage and a legal case by PETA over the safety of working with animals, with orcas, and the ethics of keeping live whales and other marine animals in captivity. Following the lawsuit, an investigation was launched, and it was found that Tilikum was responsible for two more deaths, one in 1991 and one in 1999. Furthermore, it was discovered that Tilikum was kept in a 25 by 20 tank for up to 12 hours a day, 24 hours on days where he didn't perform or train. Tilikum was 22.5 feet long. She wouldn't even have been able to turn. To put it into perspective, it's like a person being locked in a cabinet. You can't turn or do anything. You're essentially stuck in there. These animals aren't stupid. They have brains and develop stress. From the ocean that seems infinitely large to a pool where she couldn't even turn. You can't tell me that's reasonable. That's a prison sentence. Moreover, it was discovered that trainers would actually extract Tilikum semen, which was used to produce 21 orcas, which only now 11 are reported alive, all living in captivity. Tilikum returned to performing the following year after being responsible for Don Bronchu's death, and continued for 5 more years until it died in his tank on January 6, 2017. Tilikum was a wild animal. Even though she was taken from such a young age, she would have never been able to thrive in captivity. Tilikum is just one of the many sorrowful cases of animal abuse. Not only is it harmful for these animals, but we can't ignore the fact that there are people getting hurt, injured, and even dying. There are only 4 cases of human death caused by orcas in captivity and in the wild. Tilikum was the cause of 3 of them. You can't tell me that is a coincidence. You may also recall the western lowland gorilla named Harambe, who was killed because a 3-year-old fell into the exhibit. There are also a couple of hundred of stories and headlines of humans getting attacked by wild cats, such as lions and tigers, during tourism activities. These animals live in exhibits not even close to adequate and are constantly bothered by humans. These animals are not meant to be in contact with humans. They are harmed physically and may result in physical harm to themselves and even others, such as humans. These animals don't belong in zoos, it's not their homes. So next time you want to visit a zoo, aquarium, circus, or anything quote unquote fun that involves animals, remember, it's not fun for you. It's fun for you, not for them. Take your money to an adoption center and you can donate to animal rescues or even a charity.